Being Veterans Day, we will be amiss if we don't talk about the VA loan, which is a very, very...
We will. Well, yeah, it's always certainly worth talking about. Yeah, the VA loan is probably, in my opinion, after all these years of doing it, is really the best first-time buyer loan out there. There's no mortgage insurance on it on a monthly basis.
There's no down payment.
There's no down payment. Depending on whether you have service-connected disability or if you have a Purple Heart, in those cases, there's not even an extra fee for using the program.
The VA funding fee is...
Correct. The VA funding fee is waived for those with a service-connected
like
disability. No, it's actually kind of stiff. It's 2.3% for a first-time use. It's financed. It's added on top of the loan, and it's eliminated in the case of a borrower with a service-connected disability or Purple Heart. Purple Heart aspect of that is new.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Yeah, it's just come up in the last several months. So the VA loan from that perspective is the most efficient in terms of down payment and relative to that monthly payment of any of the first-time buyer loans that are out there, which is really a great feature that people should be aware of. Sometimes sellers are worried that the VA will put special requirements on the property or add extra fees that the seller's obligated to pay, and that's simply not true.
Right.
There's no extra fees that the seller's obligated to pay. It is helpful if the seller pays closing costs, but not required. And in addition to it, there's the extra property review is really not onerous. FHA is much more strict than what we see with VA. So VA is really, in my opinion, one of the best loans out there. If you qualify, if you've served.
And the only qualification is if you have your DD-214.
Yeah,
and you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, and your certificate of eligibility, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a certain service requirement that you had to fulfill, but as long as you fulfilled that service requirement, you'll be qualified for that benefit.
Right.
So
if you're a military and you are thinking about buying or selling a house, give me a call. I have my military relocation professional designation. I found it very important about a year and a half ago to learn more about how I can help our veterans. So this was a 2-day course, and I sat there and my eyes were like, oh my God, I had no idea that our military had these housing requirements that were being denied, and they had to jump through all these hoops.
Yeah.
Especially those with families and raising families and serving our military and serving for my freedoms, having all these problems. So I'd like to express my gratitude to all our troops, veterans, first responders, and our heroes in service and healthcare. That is our nurses and doctors, nurses, aides, and healthcare staff, the EMT staff, police and firefighters. So often they deal with life and death situations, and especially at this time of year, especially on today. Thank them and keep them in your thoughts and prayers. The Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour is brought to you today by my guest, Mr. Phil Forbes, with Warsaw Federal. His phone number is 513-374-7133.